Hello, and welcome to Resume Before and After, where we look at common resume mistakes and how to fix them. Today, we're looking at what to do if you're a jack of all trades. Including lots of different kinds of experience can lead to a generic or disjointed resume, but you can fix this by tailoring your resume to different industries. In today's economy, it's commonplace for people to switch jobs and even industries several times throughout their career. As a result, most job seekers have a wide range of experience, skills, and training earned through their diverse careers. In some ways, this is a great asset. These workers are flexible, well-rounded, and able to contribute in lots of different ways. But when it comes to the resume, being a Renaissance man can make things tricky. Do you include all of your various skill sets on the resume? Does everything receive equal weight? If you try to be all things to all people, you may end up with a resume that makes you look unfocused and all over the place. Let's look at an example. The author of this resume is a job seeker who has experience, skills, and education that relate to several different industries. We can see from the top of her resume that her educational background is in rehabilitation and disability studies. She goes into detail about the courses she studied as part of that degree, including rehabilitation evaluation, principles of counseling, and applied behavior analysis. Based on this section, she seems to be presenting herself as a counselor for workers with disabilities. But then, the first page of her employment history is for a completely different field, working for a library. For both the interlibrary loan position and the outreach position, she goes into extensive detail about her work at the library, discussing the different aspects of the work. She mentions many library-specific skills, such as fulfill interlibrary loan requests, selecting books of interest for pleasure reading and/or for research needs, and processed print and non-print library materials. She also mentions several skills that could transfer over to other industries, such as manage invoicing, collections, and payment processing, and prepare to document spreadsheets and databases. Skills that would be useful in an administrative or clerical role. On the second page of her resume, she discusses her former job at a child care center, adding another skill set, working with children, to an already vast array. Then, she talks about her work for vocational rehabilitation services and the St. Tammany Parish Council on Aging. These final two jobs focus on counseling-related skills such as case management and completed needs assessments and made referrals. These call back to the beginning of the resume, where she discussed her training in rehabilitation and disability counseling. But the rest of the resume indicates that she's been out of that field for quite some time. When we look at the resume as a whole, we see that the effect it generates is confusion. What kind of job is this person looking for? There doesn't seem to be a focus. If she wants to stick with library work, why start the resume with all of the counseling-related information? If she wants to return to disability counseling, why go into so much detail about her library work? Why give so much space to the childcare job if that's not what she's interested in doing? Overall, she seems to have included everything she could think of to include in her resume to cover all bases, but it just makes her look unfocused and underqualified for any specific type of job. It's a jack of all trades, master of none situation. When we spoke with the client, she revealed the true issue. She was equally interested in 4 different types of jobs: library and disability counseling, as well as clerical and education. She had thought that the solution was to create one crammed full of information resume that showcased all these skills. But we were able to show her a better way. Instead of one broadly unfocused document, we helped her create 4 laser-focused documents, each one tailored to a specific industry. Now let's take a look at the different ways you can package this same information to create 4 different effects. We started with the library resume. This was the easiest to create because it focused on her most recent work history. We didn't need to change much in the job descriptions for her library jobs. What we did need to do was remove the focus on the disability counseling work. So we moved her education to the bottom of the resume, and we shrank that section, removing the list of specific courses taken because they weren't relevant to library work. Then, we removed the 2 disability counseling-related jobs. Because these were jobs that she had held while she was in school, we were able to delete them entirely without leaving a gap in her work history. Finally, to make sure that her resume really screams library, we added a branding statement and key skills section to the top of the resume. The branding statement focuses on 3 major areas of expertise: library programming, outreach, and customer service. And the key skills section includes several specific library-related skills, such as circulation procedures and cataloging and sorting. Including these specialized sections can be a great way to tailor a resume to a specific industry. The resume for disability counseling was trickier because she hasn't worked in that field for several years. Again here, we used specialized sections at the top of the resume to steer the employer's focus onto her most relevant skills. We included a branding statement that identified her most important areas of expertise for this field: rehabilitation, disability counseling, and assessment. We also included a key skills section filled with relevant keywords, such as assessing disabilities, recommending assistive technology, and job placement. But even this wasn't quite enough. We felt it was important to address the fact that she's been out of this field for a while. So we added a professional summary that includes the line, "seeking to return to the field of disability counseling." In general, a professional summary can be a great tool for tailoring a resume, as it lets you provide a brief synopsis of who you are as a professional and what you have to offer. Continuing the process of emphasizing her disability counseling-related credentials, we moved her degree in that field back up above her work history. Then, finally, we had to deal with the work history itself. We needed to get her vocational rehabilitation services job onto the first page. If her only relevant experience was buried on the second page, that would make her look unqualified. However, we could not simply remove her more recent, less relevant jobs from the resume. She's been with the library for the last 6 years, so omitting it would have left a huge gap in her work history. But what we could do, and did, was to greatly shrink the more recent, less relevant job entries. For each library job and for the childcare job, we gave only a very general overview of what the job involved, a mere 1 to 3 lines. We left out most of what she accomplished as a library employee because it simply wouldn't be important to someone hiring a disability counselor. By shrinking these sections, we were able to fit her most relevant information onto the front page. Our client's third target industry, office clerical work, might seem like an unusual choice at first, since she's never worked or trained in that field. But, as her original resume showed, a large part of library work has a clerical or administrative aspect to it, so she actually had plenty of experience doing that type of work. We merely had to focus on those aspects of the job, her transferable skills. We started, again, with specialized sections tailored to the office clerical industry. The branding statement identifies her 3 major areas of expertise: administrative assistant, clerical specialist, and receptionist. The professional summary describes her as organized and methodical, with a talent for record management and excellent collaborative and communication skills. The key skills section includes such skills as Microsoft Word, Publisher, Excel, Access, and multi-line phone system. Every word so far is directly related to clerical and administrative work. For the work history, we made some cuts to the job descriptions to better focus on clerical skills. We removed some of the library-specific skills, such as using the library catalog, recommending books, and performing circulation functions. These are skills that don't really matter outside of the library. Instead, we highlighted clerical and administrative skills, such as manage invoicing and collections, and maintained daily and monthly records. On the second page, you can see that, again, the details of her disability counseling-related work history and education have been largely removed, since these skills don't really transfer to an office clerical role. This allows us to keep the focus on the more relevant skills and experience. The final resume for education was the most challenging for us to write. At first, it seemed like too much of a stretch for her qualifications. But when we talked more with the client about why she felt she'd be good at that kind of work, we began to see that she did have some relevant skills and experience. All of her library jobs included teaching and training people. She worked with patrons one-on-one, teaching them new skills, and she taught group classes at the library. She was skilled at creating seminars and presentations, which is similar to lesson planning. She also had experience working with children, both at the child care center and at the library. So we needed to bring those skills to the forefront of her resume. First, we created tailored opening sections that focused on education-related keywords and skills. The branding statement identifies her 3 main areas of expertise as education, childcare, and group instruction. The professional summary mentions her talent for presenting lessons and leading group activities, and working with toddlers, children, and teens. The key skills section includes such skills as small and large group instruction, curriculum creation, and one-on-one training. Now, all of this is true. She really has done all of those things. But because she did them in a library, not a school, her qualifications wouldn't be readily apparent if we hadn't spelled them out in these tailored sections. Next, we rewrote the job descriptions for her library jobs to focus more on her education-related duties. This included bullet points such as train new hires, plan and teach classes, and taught classes and led group activities. In this way, we highlight that she does have teaching experience, even if it's from an unorthodox setting. If we look at all of these resumes at the same time, we see what a powerful tool tailoring can be. Each document, by focusing only on the skills and experience related to a specific type of job, makes a powerful case for her qualifications to do that kind of job. Look at how different all of these documents are, and yet they all accurately describe the same person. If you apply tailoring techniques to your resumes, then you, like Jane, can be a chameleon. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please click like, and if you'd like to see more content from us, please click subscribe.